Alright, so Tony's going to start off with an expedition map off of a forest.
Chain boss room, discard to change the effects.
Alright, we're going to see Volcanic Island Delver from Kelly passing back.
I don't think I do.
Alright.
Every time I drew you, I was upset.
Map's going to crack off of another forest, finding a cloud post. If you ever played against Tony, you should not be surprised that he's playing cloud post. It's his signature deck. Looks like a bolt flipped to the Delver. So Tony's going to take 3. And we're bringing down another Delver.
Oh, because it's foreign? I don't need a foreign multi-figure.
Dude, boring.
No.
Well, thank you.
Sure.
Alright, looks like Tony's just going to play a cloud post tapped and pass.
Oh wait, did you switch my defense?
So I believe this is going to be an upkeep shuffle. Here, and no reveal. Looks like it was a land. Alright, Delvers are going to come in for 4. Tony down to 13.
The only cards I'm looking for left are the...
Wasteland is going to take out the cloud post, it looks like.
Super rare megalith.
Tony's going to crop rotation in response.
Yeah.
Crop rotation not quite resolved yet. Alright, Tony can't pay for the spell pierce, so that will in fact counter the crop rotation. Alright, Tony's going to untap. Yeah, I would argue the same. If he doesn't know if the top of the deck is random, I would not shuffle before. I guess maybe he wants to thin just slightly to reduce the number of lands that he might flip to the Delver. But yeah, I agree. I think that just a random card is better than, or if it's random, then shuffling first doesn't matter.
It's merchant.
So this is an Elvish Rejuvenator coming down. So Tony's going to get to look at the top 5 cards of his deck, and I believe he can reveal a creature, or sorry, he can reveal a land and put it into his hand. Or sorry, it puts it on the battlefield, I believe. So if the Delver does not flip, he's going to at least be able to block with it. Usually the Rejuvenator is not doing much once it's already in play. Its main effect is to help ramp.
Yeah, you don't need nothing to think of Lincoln.
Who needs a link? Why is he clothing? They gain 700.
And another Cloud Post is going to eat a Wasteland. Or flip that around. The Wasteland is going to eat a Cloud Post.
Okay.
Alright, we're going to see a Once Upon a Time cast. Let's look at his top 5. Gets a creature or a land from here, put it into his hand. Looks like he's going to get a Tabernacle. That's going to put a hamper on the Young Pyromancer. 2 of the Wastelands are already gone, so the odds of this sticking around are pretty good. Alright, Tony pointing out you're going to have to pay for your guys, or they're going to get sacrificed. Or destroyed, rather. Alright, so it looks like Kelly's going to resolve his Delver trigger prior to the Tabernacle trigger. don't think we're going to be super stingy here and go over and reverse anything, but I believe the Tabernacle trigger is supposed to go on the stack first. So he would not see the card from the Delver prior to making the decision of whether or not to pay for things. But we're in the spirit of Comprel, but we're not actually at Comprel here. So since the Delver did not flip, looks like he's going to leave that one at home, but the Insectile Aberration is going to come across and deal 3. Now that we're back over on Tony's turn, looks like he's thinking about a crop rotation. Not sure why the Elvish Rejuvenate. Oh, he was letting it die to the Tabernacle. Okay.
During standby, activate boss fight.
I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure if since they are controlled by... Oh, Tabernacle gives the creature a trigger. So they're both triggers controlled by Kelly, then yes, he can choose to stack them in either order. Alright, so Tony's going to play Candelabra. Yeah, Sean, I had thought perhaps that the Tabernacle triggers were all controlled by Tony, but that's incorrect. Since it gives the trigger the ability to the creature, Kelly would be the controller of all of the Tabernacle triggers for his creatures. Hashtag, I am not a judge.
Chain phosphor.
Alright, so we're going to have a third Volcanic Island from Kelly. Looks like another Lightning Bolt is going to flip this Delver. Possibly a Chain Lightning, actually. That's a lot of text for a Lightning Bolt. The land under Vesuva, I'm not sure. It might be a Mazabeth. I know Tony has a Mazabeth in his deck, so... And Kelly's going to play another island.
Yeah.
If it's not a Vesuva, it could be a Thespian Stage, just by the colors of the art. Okay, yeah, it's definitely a Mazabeth here. So he's going to use the Candelabra to untap the Vesuva maze so that he can use both mazes this turn. Alright, Dreadhorde Arcanist is going to come down. Maze in its copy, untap. Yeah, Candle with Maze is pretty gross. It's going to be very hard. One thing to note is that the Dreadhorde Arcanist will be able to still trigger things, but... So I think the problem here is that we're looking at Bolt, Chain Lightning, attack with Dreadhorde Arcanist for another Bolt, and if Tony doesn't have a way to get his Glacial Chasm, he's just going to die there. I didn't get the timer set up for this round, so I'm just going to let that go for the time being.
So if I can out this. Oh, okay. So I can't resolve it, can I? Okay. Bone fire.
Apologies. Earlier, I believe I called the 1/1 creature Elvish Reclaimer. It's actually Elvish Rejuvenator.
It's an mana card? Okay. Wait, so does it negate the actual effect of it, or what does it do? So it can't activate it? Okay. against still use the stand.
Tobias and Polly.
Sure. Upon entering battle, tribute 2 tokens to Page. Yeah. 400 left!
Go ahead and figure out put their records up there for the time being.
Oh my god. That's fair.
You're enthusiast for that one moment where you can't pull a tune around or something. Damn.
God, the top deck of the BEX. The literal brightest. It's okay, I also went through all 5 monsters. I went through 2 Need Hug.
I went through all of my shit.
It's good.
Almost done with Tony's main deck here. Look at that. Right.
Wow, Jack is such a good card.
Jackalope or Jackaboon?
Jackaboon.
Yeah. Activate stage.
Jackaboon, come on.
Boss quest. We're dealing for.
He's really good for zombie. If he just came back.
Sorry, Chris. Some people just insist on shuffling with pile shuffles. Unfortunately, it is something that's still allowed. I'm not usually a fan of it. I think Kelly was there trying to show some information to the camera, and I missed it.
During draw.
Alright, so we had a couple Delvers. Land. Looks like a Daze. Let's see. Alright, looks like Tony had taken a mulligan. Alright, so Tony's going to start on Forest. Pithing Needle. Go find out what the
No, this was sent.
what that was on. Alright, the Wasteland is on, or the Needle is on Wasteland. Doesn't take me that long to dash over there and find out. Alright, so it looks like we're going to have Matt coming down on the second turn here.
Gamma oils it adds 500 attack.
Right. Delver does not flip, comes across for 1.
You don't control spell because it's on
Imagine Skull in turn. Okay, we're going to get a mountain.
Effective Needhog tributing itself. Osro?
Looks like Kelly has a white-bordered, snow-covered land. How terrible. So he's going to play an Arcanist, pass back.
Oh no, wait, that's for Needhog. I'm in Needhog. Yeah.
Tony's going to go for an Ancient Stirrings.
Chain a Hallowed Sun. Tribute is
So he's going to get a snow-covered island or forest with that. Goes to the bottom. He's going to play that as his land for the turn. And we're going to play a map. So I was wrong. I was mistaken. The first Ancient Stirrings found the map. The irony here that we have a Pithing Needle on Wasteland, but no wastelandable lands on Tony's side of the field.
Tribute the 2 tokens to banish this card.
Reasonably entertaining. Alright, we got a Polluted Delta from Kelly. And Kelly is going to cast a Brainstorm. I imagine this is so that we have some fuel for the Dreadhorde Arcanist to attack with. Start drawing through the deck. Chris Thomas, the Arizona Eternal channel is not being used anymore. You can now find us at Arizona Magic on Twitch and ArizonaMagicSeries.com. One of the gentlemen that was running the Arizona Eternal Magic moved to Oregon, and there was a slight restructuring. All right. I think it's probably worth it to set up the Delver with at least one of the 2 Brainstorms. Like, I think the first Brainstorm can set up things to fetch away, and then you should be able to, since you're not going to get a second fetch, the Brainstorm off the Arcanist is probably going to be used to. Well, I would use it to set up the Delver. All right, so from Tony, we got an Elvish Rejuvenator coming down.
Oh wait, yeah. So during draw,
That's going to resolve. Tony deciding which land he'd like to put into play. It's going to be a Cloud Post. Not very surprising.
as you do.
Stop drawing lengths.
Alright, let me refresh the extension and we should be able to. There we go.
On declaration,
Alright, so hopefully the extension should be updated and you should be seeing both of their deck lists now.
reflective stage to summon.
Alright, so Kelly has played a Blood Moon. And he has abraded away the Pithing Needle.
Chain.
So Tony needs to find a way to work through this. Now, if Tony was expecting the Blood Moon out of the sideboard, he will have several options. He has a couple of Croson Grips that he could use to get rid of the Blood Moon.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of other things to get rid of it. He has an Ugin the Spirit Dragon in his deck, so if he's able to find that, he could get rid of the Blood Moon. But right now, it looks like he's trying to set up for a Dark Depths kill. Because if he can find a Croson Grip, he can, at the right time, blow up the Blood Moon and get an instant 20/20.
I should put Pot of Avarice in here. I'm gonna get these cards out of the grave. I don't want to call my grave targets all the time.
So it's like.
You like what?
Do like two jacks.
Two Jack's pretty good. What?
I don't want to see too many jacks, but I do.
You want to see it, but you don't always want to see it.
Man, taking it to away is so fun.
The MBL, that's true. That's very true. Is anybody able to tell me if the Cardboard Live extension is working correctly? On my little screen, it's not showing up.
I'm gonna go get
All right.
I'm gonna go get
So now the Merit Lage has been dealt with, Kelly's going to continue his assaults. Oh, I might have this wrong. It's not Cardboard is not live. All right. Thanks, Grixis Jace. I'll worry about that between rounds. I think I might have this wrong. I think Kelly took game one, actually. We'll wait and see what happens at the end of this game. I'll update it if I need to. Alright. So yeah, so I was wrong. So Kelly did have the first game, so that was my bad. So the MBL, this is Hackbert on the mic.